What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Happy Friday. Today I want to touch base on the growth of an agency, right? So if you guys are trying to grow an agency, building an agency, whether it's a social media marketing agency, whatever it is, I think these concepts apply to every single one of you guys. And I want to talk about how I was able to take my agency from, let's say, 0 to 10K a month, and then from 10K to 100K a month, and then to $250,000 a month. I think I was shy of $500,000 at one point, and I'm kind of working my way back up to that point now. So point being is, when I got started, the biggest thing was really coming up with an idea based on things that I knew worked. And this was like a new skill set for me, right? So I don't know why it came down to like common sense. I really sat there and I was like, you know what? Let me try and figure out if I could develop brands for social media influencers. So what ended up happening was, this is like when TikTok first came out. A lot of people started, going viral on TikTok. It was really easy for people to go viral on TikTok. And I'm like, bet, let's do it. So start talking to people. Now, the biggest thing that I realized is that a lot of these people weren't really skeptical to opt in. The most difficult part was more so these people actually coming up with the money. So I'm like, bro, you guys have 5 million followers and have no money. But my idea was, I wanted to monetize off of other people's following. So what better way to do that than to sell to these people's audiences? So I sold a service to these influencers, and then was also monetizing off of their following. But what I realized very quickly is, unless they had a passionate audience that really cared about what they were posting, a lot of these influencers didn't do well. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm building brands for these people, and I'm like, yo, go sell this. They didn't know how to promote, they didn't know how to market, and a lot of these influencers were just stuck up. So people were like, yeah, I have 5 million followers, whatever. Like thinking they're all famous and shit, but whole time you ain't have no money, and none of your followers actually know who you are. So moved on from that, and really kind of went back to the basics, went back to my roots, and really tried to figure out, all right, what am I good at? What have I done before? Get back into my industry. I've built and scaled multiple 6 and 7 figure brands on Facebook ads at this point. And I'm like, you know what better way to do that than to service other brands or build and develop brands for people? So that's essentially what I started getting into. And I would do this under other companies. So I was getting a lot of referrals, and a lot of people were just sending me, oh, you have this person, build them a store. You have this person, build them a store. You have this person, build them a store. And it was familiar because I had done something like this in the past, where we had an agency sending us a whole bunch of stores to develop, right? So the point that I'm getting to behind this is, I tried a lot of different things and quickly realized that whenever you launch something, right, my strong suit was never influencer marketing. So why am I going after this influencer marketing niche and industry if it's not something that I ever heavily pushed, and not something that I used or leveraged for the growth of my own brands? So what I quickly realized is, like, in this game, bro, like, really and truly, guys, you have to understand what you're good at, and based upon what you're good at, that's how you offer a service. I see too many people go out, don't know how to run ads, and then are trying to sell service on running ads. Bro, you've never done it for yourself before, so what makes you think that somebody's gonna trust you to do that? So somebody will trust you to do it, they'll pay you, and then you start servicing them. They won't know that you don't know what you're doing, and you're sitting there kind of trying to figure it out. So sure, it's okay to figure it out as you go, but it also depends what you're doing, right? So what I would do is first figure out how to do something for yourself before you offer it to the general public. Once you start to scale from that point, you have to be able to put a price on your time, a price on your knowledge, and put a price on the services that you're offering. What you'll quickly realize, bro, is that you're gonna go out and you're gonna try to find people and sell them off for maybe $2,000, $2,500, then you go to $5K. You have to truly believe that your time and the amount of work, effort, and knowledge, experience, all of that shit that you have is worth what you're charging people. Like, personally, I've invested so much money, so much time into developing, the agency that I've grown to this day, that I understand what my value is and what our time is worth, and how much money needs to be allocated towards the development of these brands that are under our management. We're building a portfolio. We're building something long term. We're building a portfolio of brands that can consistently profit on a month-to-month basis. And the thing is about that, guys, is you have to understand that when you go out and you offer these services, these aren't things that you're going to be able to do on your own. You're going to have to grow a team. You're going to have to build a team. You're going to have people in dedicated positions to do this, to do that, to do that. And that's how you're going to be able to elevate. So when it first started, right, our first 10K month was really off of us bringing in 2 influencers, right? 2 influencers. And this is off of straight sales. Prior, we were doing 50K a month, literally just building out websites. But 2 influencers came on board, and I think it was 2 or 3. And that essentially gave us enough money to start to make progress within the agency. And over time, I started to realize, I'm like, bro, this niche is not for me. This is not what I want to be doing. So cool, go back to the basics. Great. And I started to build things back up. Quickly got to 50K a month within a couple months. 100K a month. Cool. Came down, had another transitionary period, figured out a different marketing angle, figured out how I could tailor things towards a specific market, right? Started to build a bigger team, started to have people on the phone. We're like, great. And then what it quickly turned into was 100K a month, 150 a month, 250. Then we're hitting 250 consistently. And I'm like, cool, how do we scale from 250? We start hitting 300. Things come back down because from a service perspective, you have to be able to service the people that you're bringing on board, right? So we start to switch up our offer a little bit, start to switch up the way that we service people in order to create a system that was more sustainable, more profitable, and more, let's say, could generate more predictable income. What ends up happening is it takes longer than expected to develop that. So I'm like, you know what? Because we're developing this, I'm gonna have to wait, go through another transitionary period, and work my way back up. So the point in all of this, guys, is that you have to learn that when you're growing an agency, you have to disassociate yourself from the financials of the actual business and understand what is the purpose of what you're doing. Like, build things with purpose. When I first got into this game, it was about money. And as much as I thought about money and trying to make money, I couldn't make money because I'm too stuck on, how do I make money? I want the money. How do I make money? I want it. And you lose that grasp of what you're actually trying to build. You lose the passion of what you're trying to build. You lose the why of what you're trying to build. So all this to say, guys, it's not that hard to work your way up. Remember your purpose, remember your why, and structure things in a way that makes sense. If you're going to be developing something, develop something that's actually going to be beneficial for people. Have the right intentions with what you're building, and be passionate about it. Don't be a fucking prideful piece of shit and try to hold on to every single dollar your business generates. You got to feed other people in order for these people to help feed you, right? It's a constant cycle. You're building an ecosystem. So yeah, as simple as that, guys. So yeah, if you're a struggling agency owner, man, or you're trying to start an agency or thinking about starting an agency, have looked into it, and just you're having a hard time, subscribe, bro. I do want to be talking about this stuff a little bit more. I've spoken about the dropshipping stuff a lot, and you guys seem to hate it in the comments. People aren't really fucking with me for it. But anyways, that being said, link in the description to the networking channel on Telegram. And please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, guys. I'm gonna catch you in the next video. Peace.